In Russia, I must tell you, I had a very good experience of a very highly developed soul who is a very well-known scientist. He is one of the biggest scientists of Russia, and he is indulging also into spirituality. He told people that I am indulging into spirituality, I would like to see Mother. I said, all right, I would love to see him. So when he came, he looked at me and he said, I know, Mother, that you are the incarnation of God in these modern times. I was quite surprised for a scientist to say that. But his eyes, so pure and so full of devotion and humility. Then he says that I want to do something if you help me. I said, what do you want to do? He said, I cannot measure your power. I cannot. He had an instrument by which he could measure the power. I can't also measure the power of your photographs. He said, he told me a number which I couldn't understand, was something 700 raised to power, some sort of a billion into billiardi, like that. I said, now what this number is, I don't know. So he told me that this is what your photograph is. So I said, all right, now what do you want me to do? I told him, you can take this photograph if you think it is so powerful. So he took the photograph with such respect and this thing. At least 4 or 5 times he bowed to me. I said, what do you want to do about it? He said that I want to put it on a satellite. Now see the projection part. Satellite, then what will you do? And I'm going to put electromagnetic force behind it. So this will, the power that is in this one will penetrate into things, because electromagnet can penetrate, with that these vibrations will also penetrate. So I will go onto the satellite, and from there I'll project this and I'll see the global problems. Then wherever I'll project this, the problems will be solved. I'll try to first of all make the land fertile with this one photograph of mine. Can you imagine? See his projection. I was amazed. I said, look at this man, what he has been thinking all the time. He said, this is not difficult. It's not difficult. I said, how? So he showed me with a spring, something like a spring. He put it on water which I had vibrated. And the spring started jumping. And then he showed with his machine that the whole thing was moving so fast. You see, Mother, just see the water that you have vibrated, how great it is. So this is, I have never heard that you can transform this power into something which will work out on material thing. He said this power can work out in anything. It is this power which has created everything. So it will work out in everything. I was so surprised. And he said, I've been just waiting to meet you, and this I'm going to start. I've got a lot of work to be done. And he told his friend, now let's go. We have a lot of work to be done. I want to do all this in the lifetime of Mother. She should see what we have to do. I was amazed from where this fellow has dropped on this. Such an experience of a scientist. In the West, no scientist will even look at me. Nobody will think that they can do something about these vibrations. But you see, he has already developed a method by which he can measure the vibrations, you see. I don't know, I didn't ask him any further questions because I thought he's too much in it and let him do what he likes. And you see, I find that in Russia, people are very highly placed and they have very many ideas. But spirituality is the main thing, and morality. There was another gentleman, I would say he was hardly about 32 years of age. very much sparkling. He came. I asked him, what, what, what do you want me to do? He said, no, you have done too much for us. Now we'll do for you. So what do you want to do? He said, I'm in charge here of spirituality. Can you imagine? We have no such government where there is a subject like spirituality, that somebody is in charge of spirituality. This is Russia. I said, you are in charge of spirituality, yes. And I have to deal with students from very young age to the college. And can you tell me, Mother, at what age the children are more receptive of spirituality? I said, there's no hard and fast rule about it. But as children, very small children, because they are so innocent, it works out. So he asked me, how do we put spirituality into them? I said, you can raise their Kundalini, you can tie them up, and they will become really people with such attention that you will be amazed at that. He said, I am gathering all the people of all the faiths, and I am going to tell them that it's only Sahaja Yoga which is the right path. Can you imagine? Such a wonderful person, hardly 32 years of age. I mean, one better than the other, I thought. One really better than the other. Then he asked me the schemes. What should we do for patriotism? What should we do for this? He was so much alert. And he said, through spirituality, how can we improve their lives of the students? Now he is in charge of all the students of Russia. And he is also a member of the parliament. He said there are other 8, 9 members who are also in the same committee, and they want spirituality to go. I was amazed. I mean, what a country is this Russia? How could they have such people? Then the third one came. He was also member of parliament, very dynamic. First he was right-hand man of Yeltsin, but then he gave him up. He said he's not moral. I don't want to have anything to do with a person who is not moral. So now what are you doing? He said, now we are thinking of getting elected by some another party, name is My Motherland. That's a very good idea. So in that we'll not have fixed idea like it is a democracy or a, you can call it communism or this. But whatever suits my motherland, that will have. It's very practical. It's the most practical thing, that whatever will be good for my mother-in-law, that we will have. Nothing else. I said, really, this is very practical. And he may one day replace this Yeltsin and all that. Very dynamic, very nice. Just now he was a little bit, I was depressed, because he said, there are stupid people over here and this and that. But then he got very hopeful. I said, we'll help you all out. But such a truthful man. And he said, the basis of human life is morality. If you have no morality, then all the rest is nonsense. He studied in England, and he said also in America for quite some time. And the other fellow had studied. And they said in America we got fed up, absolutely, and we don't want to go back there. So the wisdom of these people really was very striking to me. Now the another third thing which I discovered is even much more deeper than this. When I went to Ukraine, I saw some very nice paintings done with a very aboriginal sort of colors. So they said, Mother, this we had before the Christians came in. They showed me a magazine in which there was a photograph of the primordial mother. And they called it Aditi, that Sanskrit we to call it Aditi. Can you imagine? Then they said this culture existed before the Christian aggression came in. And there was paintings were of Muladhara Chakra in different ways, and also of Agya Chakra. And the way they were talking about all this, even in the magazine I was really surprised. They said that all this was published, we have books on this, but because of the church, it was all said, it's all nonsense. There's nothing like that. But the best part I saw was the picture of the Aditi. And there was a Kundalini in her stomach, or lopa, and was shown going upward like that. I said, look at this culture these people had. Then they said we had relations with India. And they were Aryans and we were also Aryans, and we used to meet them. So I thought Machindranath and all these people had gone to the north of India. They might have come to this Ukraine. And they said that, the whole thing was traced to Ukraine, name came from Kuru, and all kinds of things were traced in Sanskrit. All this, I was amazed. What a culture they had. In what culture they lived. It's something, unbelievable. While in India, there are many people who don't know what is Kundalini. If you tell them Kundalini, they think Kundali means horoscope. Especially in the north, they have no idea of Kundalini. But here are the people who have really had lived in a culture for thousands of years, and they said this was before Christ 3,000 years. Can you imagine? Before Christ 3,000. And so we too had civilizations in India like Harappa and all that of that time. But they said India is the source of spirituality. That magazine, I was amazed at it and the way it was done. And the Muladhara and the Agya Chakra and all that, so well. Maybe they must have seen it. They might not have got realization. But they talked about realization and also achieving selfhood. This was so many years back. But then they said the Christian religion came and they told us it's all nonsense, have nothing to do. As they told me also in Greece that they had Athena and primordial mother and all that, but they said no mother, nothing, better stop it. So it was all cancelled and nobody looked at it. But can you imagine that so many years back it existed in that Ukraine, such a beautiful culture of spirituality.